In Europe, where the heat wave is severe, there's a lot of talk online that if you turn on the air conditioner, you're considered a far-right extremist. With record-breaking heat waves, the demand for air conditioning is skyrocketing. Today, let's take a closer look at this issue. Let's get right into it. Recently in Europe, air conditioning has shifted from a daily concern to a major political issue. With ongoing heat waves, citizens demand immediate cooling facilities for safety, while others strongly argue that environmental policies should come first. Now, even opinions on air conditioners are sharply split by political orientation. In some online spaces, posts labeling people who use air conditioners as far-right have spread, while on the other hand, posts criticizing green policies have also spread rapidly, further increasing social conflict. In this environment, air conditioning policy has become a key political issue in France before next April's presidential election. Marine Le Pen of the National Rally has pledged to expand access to air conditioning, emphasizing that it is the state's role to protect its people from heat waves. Jean-Philippe Tanguy of the same party also criticized that after the massive heat wave in 2003, the country should have expanded its cooling infrastructure, but due to the political establishment's perception over a long period, there has not been an adequate response. When heat wave deaths continue, they argue cooling facilities should no longer be just a political debate topic. The progressive camp argues for caution regarding widespread air conditioner distribution. Jean-Luc Mélenchon, leader of France Unbowed, noted that wider air conditioner use could raise electricity consumption and worsen climate change. He argued that expanding urban green spaces and improving building insulation to lower indoor temperatures would be a more effective long-term solution. Both sides face the same heat wave, but one prioritizes expanding cooling facilities while the other focuses on improving urban environments. Thus, responding to the heat wave has become a political choice. This isn't limited to France. In Germany, political disputes over air conditioning are growing too. Currently, Alternative for Germany is polling first among German parties. It is known for its hardline right-wing stance. Mark Bernhardt, construction spokesperson for Alternative for Germany, claimed that what he called climate hysteria, including energy efficiency ratings, blocks air conditioner installations, leading to more heatwave deaths. He vowed to stop citizens from being sacrificed to climate ideology. However, in contrast, the Green Party acknowledged the need for air conditioners, but indicated that subsidies for air conditioners should only be provided if solar panels are installed on the roof. The reason why there is a debate over air conditioners in Europe is because of the worst heat wave that has hit the continent. Due to abnormal temperatures that started in early summer, the damage is increasing. According to AFP, the Eiffel Tower even closed early at 4 p.m. due to the unusually high temperatures. This is serious because the Eiffel Tower usually stays open until midnight in peak season. However, since the structure is made of iron, it can bend in extreme heat, so they decided to close early for safety reasons. In the case of France, more than a quarter of the mainland is under the highest level of heat wave alert, and the heat wave is expected to continue for a long time. In fact, the impact of the heat wave is clearly shown in the statistics. According to data released by Euromomo, the European Mortality Monitoring Agency, the number of excess deaths in 27 European countries has recently exceeded 10,000. Among them, more than 9,000 were counted as seniors aged 65 and older. The elderly are thought to be more affected by heat waves because their ability to regulate body temperature is relatively lower, and many of them have underlying conditions such as cardiovascular or respiratory diseases. When tropical nights persist and temperatures stay high, the body can't recover properly, greatly raising the risk of rapid health decline. Reuters also explained that the excess deaths counted by Euromomo do not all mean deaths caused by the heat wave. Experts noted that during this period, there were no major infectious diseases like COVID-19 or other clear factors to explain the excess deaths. Taking all these points into consideration, it is highly likely that the record-breaking heat wave had a significant impact on the sharp increase in excess deaths to 10,650 during the same period. Euromomo also noted that excess deaths on this scale during this period were highly unusual. In particular, the biggest problem being pointed out is that the damage is concentrated among the elderly. Medical professionals warn that ongoing high temperatures raise the risk of dehydration, heat stroke, and worsening existing illnesses. Therefore, more European countries are urging that heat waves be seen as public health crises, not just natural disasters. The effects of the heat wave are also affecting power production. France's electric utility company EDF recently announced that due to the heat wave, it has temporarily shut down 3 nuclear power plants and is operating 8 other plants at reduced output. The nuclear power plants that have been shut down are Gulfec, Bougie, and Choose, all of which use river water as coolant. EDF explained that this measure was taken considering both the weather conditions and environmental regulations. The reason lies in the cooling method of French nuclear power plants. To cool the heat generated during the power generation process, nuclear power plants use nearby river water as coolant and then discharge it back into the river. French environmental rules tightly regulate discharge water temperatures to prevent harm to the ecosystem. Due to the recent heat wave, river water has warmed, lessening its cooling effect. Discharging used coolant could further increase the river's temperature. EDF reduced some nuclear plant output or temporarily shut down reactors to meet environmental regulations. Electricity demand has surged from the heat wave, yet power generation has dropped. With rising air conditioning demand and nuclear plant restrictions, concerns about Europe's power supply stability are increasing. Many European households still lack air conditioning. According to data from the International Energy Agency, IEA, the household air conditioner penetration rate in France remains at about 25%. Southern European countries like Spain and Italy are also only at about 45%. This is a significant difference compared to the United States at about 90% and Korea at about 86%. Even now, in Europe, there are still many households that rely on fans, awnings, or thick walls and use natural cooling methods rather than air conditioners to stay cool during the summer. The reason why air conditioner adoption was delayed like this is because both political and environmental factors played a role. First, from a political perspective, many European countries have long made reducing carbon emissions a key national policy goal. As policies to reduce electricity consumption and improve energy efficiency have been steadily promoted, air conditioners have also come to be seen as devices that should be used sparingly. In Paris, France, eco-friendly policies like expanding bike use, adding green spaces, restricting car traffic, and setting a goal of reshaping the city to rely less on air conditioning have been promoted. Building regulations have also played a major role. Europe highly values preserving historical buildings and cityscapes. Strict regulations are often enforced as outdoor units on building exteriors can harm the appearance. In Paris, installing outdoor units often requires administrative steps, residents' consent, and architectural reviews. Sometimes installation is banned in culturally or historically significant buildings. Even with permission, construction costs may rise, and failing noise standards could require unit removal. Many people therefore abandon air conditioner installation. Environmental factors are also important. Europe has long been influenced by the marine West Coast climate, so summer temperatures have been relatively mild, and it was common for temperatures to drop at night. That's why many still believe opening windows or installing blinds helps you handle the heat. Air conditioners were regarded more as appliances used in certain areas rather than as essential household necessities. Recently, more frequent heat waves and tropical nights from climate change have made it hard to cope with heat using traditional methods, and European societies with inadequate cooling infrastructure have struggled more than expected. Of course, there is still intense debate among European policymakers, but since people are dying, I think green policies will likely change in the future. For about 20 years, Europe has focused on carbon neutrality and reducing greenhouse gases, steadily expanding eco-friendly policies. Policies like energy saving, boosting building efficiency, and expanding eco-friendly transport have also been promoted as part of this trend. However, recently, as record-breaking heat waves keep recurring, there are growing calls to reassess the priorities of these policies. Responding to the climate crisis is important, but some argue the government must also protect citizens from immediate heat waves. Many in politics and the media now believe current policies should be updated to match today's reality, not just kept as they are. Some argue policies should expand cooling facilities in hospitals, nursing homes, and schools, and support energy-efficient air conditioner distribution. There are growing expectations that going forward, Europe may adjust its policies to strengthen responses to heat waves while still maintaining eco-friendly initiatives. This air conditioner debate is viewed as more than a dispute over one device. It's a test of how European society will balance climate policies and citizen safety.